When we last saw serial killer Robert Garrow, he was talking from his hospital bed in 1973 after being gunned down on the 12th day of a massive manhunt in the Adirondacks. But his conviction and 25 years to life sentence was far from the last headline he would ever make. Tonight, in part 2 of my rewind, Terror in the Woods, Robert Garrow back on the run.
Do you think you'll die in Dannemora, New York?
I have no crystal ball, and I can't answer that question. I just feel that things will sooner or later work out.
The year was 1974. Convicted serial killer Robert Garrow sounding surprisingly upbeat for a partially paralyzed man confined to a wheelchair and locked in a prison cell for the rest of his life. Still, he had reason to think things would work out. He was already planning his next and last con. 5 years after his 12-day manhunt and killing spree, Garrow was serving 25 years to life for the murder of Philip Dombrowski. His trial hinged on his mental state.
He was not contesting the murders. He was trying to prove that he was insane.
Garrow blamed it on the good guy, bad guy dual personality raging inside him.
This was a constant struggle in my mind between Mr. X and Mr. G.
Who are you now?
It's hard to tell you.
Does Mr. X still come back to you? Does he bother you?
Yes.
Do you hope someday to be rid of Mr. X?
I hope so.
The jury didn't buy the insanity plea, and Garrow was convicted. Ever the angles player, he exaggerated his loss of mobility after being shot in the leg. And not only did he needlessly spend 5 years in that wheelchair, he so overplayed the injury that he eventually parlayed his infirmity into confinement in a wing of the medium security facility for the elderly and handicapped. What was always so perplexing is why no one was the wiser. Or were they?
We felt that, if he had a chance to get up and go, he would.
Did you suggest, though, that he was capable of conning people into thinking that he was worse off than he really was?
I believe everybody understood that.
But they wouldn't be finished with a very patient Robert Francis Garrow until he masterminded one more improbable escape. Sometime between midnight and 6 o'clock in the morning of September 8th, 1978, officials say Garrow broke out of his cell, knocked out an iron bar outside his room, ditched his wheelchair, and scaled a 15-foot fence that took him outside the prison grounds.
It wasn't surprising to me. I felt right from the time that we took him to Clinton Correctional to be incarcerated in the correctional system that someday he was going to try to escape, and he did.
Once again, the chase for Robert Garrow was on. Roadblocks went up. Residents were terrified. Cornfields and hayfields became possible hiding places. Homeowners became possible accessories.
We're into our third day now with no clues at all. I don't feel very confident right now that we're going to have him back in custody in the immediate future.
It was the discovery of a transistor radio inscribed with Garrow's inmate ID on the third day of the manhunt that led to the final showdown just a couple hundred yards from the prison.
The guy on my left yells, "Freeze."
Correction Officer Dominic Arena was in place, gun drawn, when the moment went down.
And all of a sudden, here's his head pop up with a pair of glasses on top of his head. The glasses were real thick glasses, the sun was shining, and I caught a glare in my eye of glasses. As I saw him, he picked himself up on his left arm, and out came a gun, and he started shooting. And he hit me.
It seems Garrow's son had smuggled him a .32 caliber pistol and a bucket of chicken during a visit. Garrow, who said after his first capture that he would have used a gun to shoot police so that he would be killed rather than go back to prison, ensured that he would not go back this time by firing first.
He shot 3 times that I remember. Once I was hit, 2 times was at the person to my left. And then I understand that he shot every bullet in his weapon.
There were reports that Garrow's body was riddled with bullets.
It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know that to be fact, but I know he was shot more than once.
A couple of important postscripts. The correction officer in charge of Garrow was brought up on charges and convicted. Garrow's son was also convicted of helping him to escape, and Fishkill instituted much tougher security in light of Garrow's run for freedom. There's a lot more to this story that you'll see in an extended version on our YouTube page.